Hello, everybody. Nowadays, first-person shooters are overabundant.
But back then, because of a battle between a red plumber and a blue hedgehog, this resulted in lots and lots of attempted platformer mascots. Bubsy is the first thing that comes to mind, but that's only because he was the biggest fish in the pond. But there's also Iroh the Acrobat. Oh, I just got the pun. Oh, ha ha ha. Zoo, awesome possum, super fun. Fun fact about that, the opening was actually done by Eric W. Swartz, who would later go on to do Sabrina Online. He even made a delightful parody, James Part 2, which I actually like, wink wink nudge nudge, and Lester the Unlikely. Ugh. I could go on forever, but the point is there were a lot of these, and a lot of these weren't very good.
But here comes a green rabbit with attitude who thinks cosplaying as Rebel is cool, and that's it. I just wanted to dedicate a mini marathon to Jackrabbit.
Our story starts off with two men, Argent Bruce and Cliff Bleszinski. Both were inspired by Zoo and Mega Man. At first, the game will have starred a first Dutch astronaut by the name of Zaburac, as he would go into space. However, as the game took more influence from Sonic instead of Mega Man, it was later changed into the Green Rabbit we all know and love, designed by Cliff Bleszinski. Pretty late into the game's development, Nick Stadler was brought in to give the game a complete redesign, and surprisingly, the team ended up liking the main character's new look so much, the game ended up being delayed so that Nick could rework the animations and even add more elements. Even though the game was pretty much done at this point, Nick added two new characters, a damsel in distress princess by the name of Eva Earlog, who is inspired by Kimberly from Space Ace, and an antagonist turtle by the name of Devan Cell. Get it? As a way to add a bit more plot, Devan is inspired by Commander Burf, also from Space Ace. With the game finished, it was released to the world, and a lot of people actually downloaded the free shareware version, which only included episode 1. You had to buy the full game from Epic Games themselves. The full game itself proved to be popular. Question mark? Obviously not as much as Sonic, but still a decent following. But enough jibber jabbering and yapping, let's talk about the game already. Although there's one thing that never really made sense to me. So in the comic by Nick Stadler, it shows Jazz as a soldier of fortune doing a hero's dirty work, and apparently being paid in rocks, which is pretty funny. It's not until he finds out about Princess Eva Earlog's kidnapping from the news that he wants to save. But in game, it's like if Princess Eva Earlog already knows Jazz, even though it's not in the case in the comic. So essentially, the comic is more of a fun bonus than something to take into consideration for the game's story. I mean, the band's whole reason for doing what he does is because, and I'm not kidding, he read the turtle and the hare. For crying out loud, Sonic appears at one point. I don't think you were meant to take this seriously, like Jazz comedic skills. The game starts with Jazz getting ready to save the day. First, he dons Superman's supersuit. Then he dons Batman's batsuit. And Wonder Woman.
Why do you have that?
For my sexual fantasies. I mean for my own wet fetish. I mean no reason. Now I'm ready to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Wrong game.
Oh. Finally, the title screen. Wow, the 3D font, the hypnotic background, and the catchy but strangely fever dream theme. This is certainly a game from the 90s, that's for sure. So a new game it is. And what should I choose for the difficulty? Baby, normal, or Hulk? You wouldn't like me when I'm sex angry. Let's just go with normal for now. When you start, you only have access to the first episode, but unlike episodic games like Sonic 4 and Half-Life 2, the episodes here are just the names for the world with 3 planets that contain 2 levels each and a boss, with a couple of bonus levels sprinkled in. You see Sonic 4 and Half-Life 2? This is how you do episodic games. This is a 2D platformer where you move with the arrow keys and jump with Alt, and also shoot with space your LFG 2000, which looks more like a combination of Dingo Dio's flamethrower and Mr. Freeze gun. You start off with infinite lemon-shaped blaster ammo, but later on you can get other ammos that are limited, like toaster, RF missiles, and launcher. My personal favorite being the toaster, RF missiles, and yeah, even the launcher. It's especially fun to go through the levels super fast, shooting out enemies like Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger. Unlike Sonic and Mega Man, Jazz has a health bar so you can take multiple hits before dropping dead. Episode 1 is actually a really solid and fun set of levels while allowing you to get used to the somewhat awkward controls. Episode 2, however, is where they get stingy with carrots, which allows you to heal your health and checkpoints, on top of the levels being more mundane and having more annoying enemies like deadly flowers.
And for the record, I now hate flowers. Fuck you.
Turtles with laser guns. Ah! This freak of nature that follows you when not looked at. Turtles riding Rocket Wile E. Coyote style. Later episodes get better at not being mundane, but elements like stingy health and checkpoints still remain, which is so baffling to me. Why couldn't they model after the levels in episode 1? Not to mention, the game is kinda sorta janky. I either found myself on the side of the walls when you jump up the roof. It looks like Jazz is spazzing out. At one time, I even got him on Spike, despite it's supposed to hurt him normally. Yet despite all of that, I think it makes the game a lot more fun, in a weird way. It's like Sonic 06 with how much unintentional jank can be caused. Only Jazz Jackrabbit is actually fun. Although Sonic elements like the spring, item box, speed, and bonus levels, yeah, I'll get to those, come across as forced, like the springs for example, they don't pack as much punch as the ones in the Sonic games. And the speed, oh man, the speed. Part of the reason the later episodes become harder and harder is the speed being way too fast, and it's clear by the fact that these levels aren't designed for this kind of speed in mind. That's why there's a slow down mode you can activate either from the menu or pressing T. I ended up using more than once later on in the game. It's not really fixing the problem though, it's more like hastily putting band-aid.
And then there's the bonus levels lifted right off Sonic CD.
You need to find this red gem thing to be able to access one thing, just like destroying the generators in Sonic CD. But once you enter a bonus level, it is pretty damn similar. You control Jazz with the arrow keys as you move him around collecting all required amounts of blue gems. The controls are iffy but fine. I hate how Jazz randomly goes into a roll. It always ends up getting him face first on the floor after a knockback. And this may be a me thing, but with how flat everything is, perspective is a bitch. I really hate how it's really easy to miss blue gems, and every time you step on the red portal, have a throw-up bag ready because it is straight up nauseating. Other than that, however, meh.
One of the best parts of games I always look forward to are the bosses, and Jazz has them in spades.
But honestly, the bosses are so easy to absolutely cheese that you start to question Devon Cell's intelligence. Is he really a genius or just a dumbass?
I'd say he's about as smart as 87 Shredder.
In between episodes are these texts talking about the upcoming episode, and I swear the way they are written, it's like it's a 90s melodrama. They're so much fun. Devon is building a cloning machine. Jazz walked the 3 technoplanets. Now he must pursue Devon into an all-natural fat-free, no preservative area of the galaxy. Their airbase is toast. After blasting their airbase, Jazz learns that Devon has been cloning his cronies with a gene machine. What can Jazz do? Kick butt, of course.
Nothing, shut up!
I guess now's the best time to talk about Nick Stadler's contribution. He's an amazing artist and animator, and you can tell thanks to this game. Adding details like having Jazz shiver in a cold planet, or having him chew on carrot, waiting for you to move on. Details like that are what make me appreciate the game more. Although I wish there was more than one death animation. Come on, even Bubsy had more death animations than you. The few animated cutscenes there are just happen to be endearing and delightfully rewarding. Heads up! Tell me how cool that party is!
Ah, come on, I had to let that one slide.
Nick really does a good job showing how absolutely adorable Jazz and Eva are together. Really makes you want to see them reunite again. After the game, 3 more episodes are unlocked. Episode A, Episode B, and Episode C, which are cool bonuses, but in terms of story it doesn't make sense when these are supposed to take place, since Eva is still kidnapped. What, did she get kidnapped again? Well, anyway, these are alright, but they contain a lot of the problems of the later episodes. Episode B and Episode C are especially riddled with these.
Last two things I want to talk about is Holiday Hair 94 and 95. Christmas in January. Ugh.
To put it shortly, these were bonus levels to hold you over the wait for the sequel, complete with snow and kick-ass Christmas music. Between the two, I think I prefer Holiday Hair 94, but both are a fun time.
And that was Jackrabbit. So, how does it hold up?
Well, despite a few hiccups, it's definitely not for everyone, but I say I had a lot of fun with Jackrabbit, guns blazing and all. Next time on the Jackrabbit Marathon, Devon is back at it and trying to ruin a wedding. Oh no. It's up to Jazz and newcomer Spaz Jackrabbit to get back the diamond ring and save the wedding. Next time, Jazz Jackrabbit 2.
Look up, 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 and away! It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's. Oh, it's Superman. Right, he thinks.